G'day, SuperCoaches. SCS SuperCoach here. Welcome to another Throwdown Thursday live stream as we head into round 18. This round wasn't looking to be much of a talking point, but with Caldwell's injury, Mark Pitternet being named tonight, there's a couple of things to discuss about. But joining me as always is Damo from the Footy Mailbag. Damo, how are we tracking on this Thursday morning?
It is freezing out here in Perth. I mean, you made a joke that it was probably 20 degrees, but no, it is much colder than that. Much colder inside my house as well, because my house is mostly tiles. So I'm wearing a beanie. I'm also wearing multiple clothes, and it is still too cold. Still too cold.
Mate, I can certainly relate. It's fair to say. So, there's only another 6 weeks of this weather, isn't there? It is, yeah. It just gets to that point of year where it's just a freezing mess, and it's not going away anytime soon. Got a few things to discuss here on the Throwdown Thursday live stream. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment to our channels, Twitter pages, whatever the case may be, and leave a comment down below. We'll answer all questions, especially at this time of year. We sort of bank on the comments to get us through the live stream more than ever now. So leave your comments down below. We're happy to help. So we'll talk about some round 18 summaries from our teams, talk about Jai Caldwell, and first thing what we're going to be doing, the first time we're going to be sharing my screen to talk about some targets to replace Jai Caldwell with. We'll discuss all variants in price ranges for to help you get the right player. Tom De Koning, does he got to go with Mark Pitternet named again? Talk about Matt Roberts as well after he was named sub. Could not believe that. On the hot seat. Also want to discuss, do we go cash cow? Do we go the 99K rookies at this point in the season? Fives, Damo's going to be giving us his 5 starting picks, and I have to grade them from 1 to 5. And we'll talk about some captain and vice captains. We'll start the stream as always. Damo, how did you go in round 18? Oh, no, sorry, round 17. My bad.
More green arrows. Green
Lovely.
arrows is good arrows.
Yep.
I scored 23.44, so not bad.
Oh, very nice, Damo.
I thought I was going to be ruined by Bailey Smith laid out, but that was covered by Cooper Hines, which eventually dropped out of my best 22 anyway. And then I had Angus Clark in defence covering Whitfield. So I only had about 110 points between 2 players, but still managed to do pretty well with the rest of what I had. So, yeah, happy days with green arrows.
You must have had some huge scores.
And none of them were my captain.
Oh, well, good, showing the good depth in
Actually,
your team.
No, that's not true. My captain changed. My captain was Bontempelli. I said I wasn't going to do it, but then I changed last minute.
Yeah, I kept thinking throughout the game, Bond's slowing up. Damo must have changed his mind. No, good result. I vice captained Bontempelli as well on the Thursday night. I don't know about you, Damo. I've rarely had a Thursday or Friday night captain score locked in. Feels like more than ever this year I've targeted the Sunday to have my captains. Don't know why.
Yeah, I don't love captaining in the first game of the round, or putting a captain on in the first game of the round. So luckily tonight, Carlton Brisbane, I don't actually have any Carlton or Brisbane players, so I can't do it anyway. So that's taken out of my hands. So it's going to be a nice, easy night for me tonight.
Yeah, I've only got Adam Chera tonight. I don't even know if I'm going to be bothered watching it. Watching a game solely for Adam Chera, but that's all right. So Damo pushed out a very respectful score there. Really good round from him. I forgot what I got. 2,364. So fairly happy with that. Shout out to Mitch Cleary for talking about the news about Bailey Smith before the Essendon Gold Coast game because I swung Nick Martin into my forward line, moved Campbell Gray into defence. I had the emergency on Tom McCarthy, so I just took his score. And Nick Martin didn't push out a good score, but his ability to loop really helped me there to cover Baz. We vice captain Bontempelli, as I mentioned. Did a couple of looping, like Harry Sheasel, just in case, 5-day break. With that shoulder concern, still pushed out a very respectful 94. There was a lot of ups, a lot of downs. Rowan Marshall has been huge over the past few weeks, so that's really helped me. Pretty respectful round. The aim's to get inside the top 1K. Realistically, I think that's my absolute ceiling at best. So we'll see how that goes. Let's get into a couple of these questions. Thank you for your patience, guys. Rosie Perez, hope you're doing well. I got 5 trades left. Oh, gee, that's a good number this time of year. Have to trade Caldwell, but have cover at the minute with Tom McCarthy. Should I use 2 on Luke Ryan and Mills to Holmes and Whitfield in the future, and another on Caldwell to bring me down to 2?
So is that Luke Ryan and Callum Mills 2, Max Holmes and Lockie Whitfield?
Yes. I don't think that's. You'll get. I think you'll get more points in future by just trading Caldwell. And you can save. I think it's fine in your position. I think 3 at this point in the season is probably like you should be okay. So you got 5. You could do Mills.
You could do Caldwell to Whitfield, and Holmes only scored 100 on the weekend, so his break even's now 159 and probably comes up against Toby Bedford this week. So his price is going to drop again. So you can probably wait to move on a Luke Ryan to a Max Holmes for a little while.
Yeah, I'd probably just do Caldwell to whoever you're thinking. I think Lockie Whitfield's a good replacement, despite his huge break even. I think he is a really strong target. And we'll talk about some Caldwell replacements too.
Yep.
I think Tom McCarthy is brilliant, but I think his best role for people's sides is cover. And if you can loop a bad score off field to get Tom McCarthy, I think that's awesome. So I think Tom McCarthy's best role in people's SuperCoach team is cover. So I think we'll be using him a fair bit this year. Harley, hope you're going well, mate. TDK got to go for me. Yep. He's at flex, so I got 547K to play with. Who do you think I should go to look at? Maybe Libba or Whitfield? I think out of those 2, I'd go Libba.
Yeah, probably Libba. I'm just having a look now at that price range.
Are we both in agreement that TDK absolutely has to go this week?
He's got a 3-round average of 75. If they're going to play Pitney in the team, then TDK has probably got to play forward a bit more than usual. So yeah, I would say before he loses a ton more cash, he probably does have to go.
And also Michael Voss's comments regarding Tom De Koning was very concerning. He needs to spend more time forward. So that is a red flag in itself. And with Pitto named again, it is coaching suicide for Michael Voss doing this, but there's probably not much he can do at this point. So
I tell you what, if you want another ruckman in that flex position, I don't mind Lloyd Meek.
I was going to say Lloyd Meek. He's at a really nice price. It's not the best run home for ruckman, but he can do better than what he's done.
It's a pretty good run home, though.
Is it?
He's got Darcy and Jackson on Saturday night.
Yep,
and then he's got Jordan Sweet. And then And then he's got Pitney or TDK.
They're pretty
And then
restricted.
he's got Riley O'Brien. Then he's got Darcy Cameron. Then he's got Max Gawn. And then he's got whoever Brisbane pick. So it's not a bad run.
It's not a bad run. It's not a good run. It's about 50-50 either way.
He's hit some form. He's hit some
Yeah,
form.
he has. We've needed him to hit some form. He was struggling really sort of from that round 5 to round 12 period. So it's good that he's hit his straps again. The Greek Raven, hope you're doing well, mate. Hey, the Kako Rising Star nomination, yeah, right, AFL, is a joke. Geelong guy goes by the name of George Stevens, says, hold my beer. What do you guys think?
I think Kako was always going to get a Rising Star nomination this year. I don't think they would have let the year go out without him getting one. So it's probably more body of work than one game getting Kako the nomination. But George Stevens had a great game. But hey, so did Kako. Kako had a great game too.
I think, yeah, for me personally, I would have given it to Kako. I thought he had the more impactful game in the more difficult circumstance. And it was good. Kako starters finally got their spike game.
He's still in a lot of teams too.
Yeah, I know. Shame it was too late.
He's still in 28% of teams, and now his break even is -1.
Oh, finally, some cash out of him. Did you start him?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay.
I think I traded him out at his buy as well.
Yeah, that spike game never really came for him in good enough time, unfortunately. Big Bubba, 1983. Hope you're doing well, mate. Thoughts on this double downgrade from Dudley and Cooper Simpson to May and Shanahan, leaving me with 274k in the bank, 4 trades ready to upgrade to a full primo next week. I'm playing for leagues, not rank.
Sounds good then.
Is it too late on Archer May? What's his price? 155.
I don't think it's too late. I think this week's the last week if you're going to go.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because he'll play for the rest of the season.
Yeah, should play.
And Shanahan, yeah, he is the rookie pick of the week for those looking to get more cash out of their team.
Yeah, sounds good.
I think, yeah, that's totally fine. And well, the usual tactic for me when I used to play for leagues was just you would hide your VC and C. You would look at who's in first and target who they've got that you think will hurt you for SuperCoach finals. So it's that sort of thing. He also said, sorry, I have Zach Johnson, Clay Hall to go with that 274k next week for upgrades if I do.
Yep, sounds good.
Yeah, that sounds cool. And so there'll be 2 trades. So that's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Causa, I'm considering hold Caldwell for the week if Richards goes bad and get Richards next week. If Richards goes well, who should I go? McRae, Whitfield, or Ryan Myers? I think I know who you're going to say.
You know who I'm going to say?
Yeah.
Who am I going to say?
You'll say Ryan Myers.
No, nah.
Oh, no.
I mean, I love the Brian Myers pick. I love it.
Wait, I got Myers confused with Manor. Sorry.
I would go with Jack McRae out of those 3.
Yep. And I think you get more points by grabbing McRae for 7 weeks than Richards for 6.
Yes, probably.
That makes sense, Damo.
Hmm.
I think, like Caldwell's out for 6 weeks. I don't think he'll play again this season. So he's a definite trade. And I think...
Why would they rush him back? They keep saying he's not ruled out for the season. Why would they rush him back? They're not making
There's
finals.
no point rushing him back. I think that's just a bit of copium. He'll be back. For what? What's the point? Get him cherry ripe for next year. Yeah, I would personally go McRae. If I was you there, Causa, and probably just I don't know. I just think the move now is to just grab the replacement straight away. What have we got on the run sheet here? So we've talked a bit about. So we'll quickly run through these three players here. So we've talked about Jai Caldwell. He has got surgery on an ankle syndesmosis. Very unlucky situation. We wish Jai Caldwell a speedy recovery. But we suspect that he is a definite trade, likely, in my eyes, not going to be playing again this season.
Yep.
Tom De Koning is a interesting talking point. Mark Pitternet has been named for tonight's game against the Lions. Once again, Michael Voss's words, TDK needs to be spending more time forward. So from what I hear, that doesn't sound like Pitternet's going anytime soon. It depends on your trade situation. Would you do it would you trade him if you had 3 trades to go down to 2?
So I was talking with Silvertop Hurls from Insight Fantasy about a few things about a trade I was doing for a different player, and he basically said that if the role's no longer there, you can't hold on to that player.
Yeah.
And for TDK, I don't think it matters how many trades you have left. The role's no longer there. You have to move him on. Go down to 1 trade, go down to no trades. The role's no longer there. You need to put your team in the best position to score the points you want to move forward.
I agree, because we've seen I actually agree with that. We've seen in previous seasons what TDK is like with Pitternet in the side. He is not a premium. He is not a premium. And when that role changes, that's when we need to act urgently. Similar with Matt Roberts from a few weeks ago, came back from illness, and he's playing wing. It's a 95. It looks good on the screen, a 95. Oh, he's fine. But the role's entirely changed. And this is the same thing with Pitternet. And you got to act now. If you've got him, he's got to go 100%. Regardless of your trade situation. You want to have 23 keepers on field, and TDK with Pitternet in the team is not a keeper.
Yeah, for sure.
And just quickly on Matt Roberts, what would you do in this situation? Would you just absolutely, if you've still got him, just trade?
See you later.
Yeah, he's got to go. So regardless of your trade situation, I think Caldwell, TDK, and Roberts are trades. And
Roberts at 411k though is hard because there's not a lot of players around that price point if you don't have that money, if you don't have cash in the bank. For his position though, and people need to go with me here on this, there are guys that you could pivot to that are in a better role than what Roberts has that may not score fantastically, but are still better than what Roberts is currently producing. So I'm talking about the likes of Harry Himmelberg at 401k. Yes, he's only averaging 84 for the season, but he's been pretty solid with tons throughout the season. And his role isn't changing. So you're picking him on upside. You're picking him as your 23rd on-field player pretty much. Your flex is now your 22nd player, and Harry Himmelberg on your field in D6, that is now your flex because he's done games throughout the season where he's gone 109, 105, 124, 117, 110, 95. He has it in him to have a good game and score this well. It's just a matter of make him your 23rd and make that D6 your spiritual flex with some of these guys that you're needing to select instead because 411k, there's not a lot of money to go around to get someone better. You could look at Kane Farrell. He's got a good ceiling. I own him in a draft league. He goes He goes 80 to 90 plus most weeks, but does have that random stinker where he drops a 40 or a 50. So he's not a bad option. I also don't mind the form that Rory Lobb is in at the moment if you want to go for someone really out there.
Yeah, agree. Yeah, and this is a similar talking point with like Shy Bolton, for example. I don't think many people know this, but Shy Bolton had his highest CBAs last week. He just played poorly, scored a 61, I believe. So, I mean, it's a similar talking point with Bolton. There's not much you can do with that money. So when I get asked, do you trade Shy Bolton? I wouldn't have thought so. No, like the role's still there. It's still fine. With Roberts, it's different. He's 411K, but the role's not there for him to have any significant improvement from that price tag. So yeah, I think he's a. So yeah, I've been asked a couple of questions about Shay Bolton. I think he is a hold for now. In terms of a couple of other things, we'll talk about the 99K versus cash cow rookie. I think people in most situations now are eyeing up that 99K rookie to trade in instead of the usual round 1 to 15 trade shenanigans of bringing Shanahan to make cash. Usually rounds 1 to 15 we prioritize cash gen, but now we're heading into that period where we're prioritizing points on field now. And Shanahan's good cover, like he's good cover, but 99K rookies can give you more cash to pick a better premium or to replace injured premiums down the line, having more flexibility with money. So I think that's more important.
I can't lie though, trading someone in who might be playing, especially with low trades towards this back end, a warm body, you can't put a price on a warm body. So
Yeah.
let's say you need someone in your midfield, you wouldn't think twice about trading in George Stevens as long as you know that he's going to play more often than not for the Cats. You can't say he will because the Cats don't usually reward form. They know the team they want to play week in, week out. So it doesn't matter who you are out that door if someone that they prefer in is fit. But George Stevens is a guy that he's clearly around the traps now and could potentially play a role in the back half of the season. So he's a guy that I would not think twice about bringing in, even though he's only played one game. Job Shanahan, again, 113K. That looks like with Oscar Allen and Jake Waterman out for the season, he's going to get a good run for the end of the season. Warm body, get him at his cheapest price now. And it wouldn't surprise me if Cooper Harvey's out this week, but if he manages to hold on and without the sub vest, then I don't mind going for Harvey as also cover as well, because 74 is not a bad from his price point either.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so just some things to think about there. A couple more of these questions. Causa, McRae will help with forward cover. If I went McRae last week over Green for Wits, would have had Clark as cover for Smith. Yeah. McRae should be perfectly fine. Do you guys know what the go is with Camporeale? A name we haven't heard about in a while.
Lucas or Ben? I still own Lucas. I still own Lucas. No, I don't know what the go is. To be honest, I don't think Carlton know what the go is, to be honest, with anything at the moment. So I would hope that we see some guys get opportunities so they kind of feel out their list towards this back 6 or 7 weeks of the season, but it's not going to happen tonight. But also only a 5-day break between Carlton's VFL game and their AFL game. So probably more likely to see them swing the axe, bring in some guys from the VFL for their next game than we were for this week anyway.
Yeah, he clearly must have done something if he hasn't even been close to returning to the side. Maybe it's one of those situations where he isn't performing in the VFL and just hard to
Ben
see.
was the more ready-made one when at draft time. So it was surprising when Lucas got the nod for rounds 1 and 2. That kind of came out of nowhere for a lot of people. So I think Ben's probably closer to being called up than Lucas is, but it would be nice to see both of them in the team together towards this back end.
Do you think they got the Twins confused?
I don't know. I don't know. Once they walk in the door, the draft number goes in the bin. I don't think it matters in the end.
No. And to be honest, you just completely forget about it when we're in December. I reckon let's talk about some Jai Caldwell replacements. So for the first time on this live stream, I'm going to be sharing my screen. I'm going to be sharing my SuperCoach tab, and we are going to look at and just talk about some of the best options here. So can that be seen pretty all right, Damo?
Yeah, I can see it.
I think we'll just go highest price down, really. So we'll try to aim to help as many people here as we can with all sorts of price ranges. So we've got the guys here at 600K. If they had about 80K, 80 to 100 plus K spare, is there anyone that really stands out to you as a good replacement right now for Caldwell?
Well, assuming they had swings and all that to go with it,
Yeah.
the Nazai Wanganeen Malera sticks out to me as probably the one to go for. 606K, his price is about to skyrocket. He's playing for his next contract. He still doesn't even know where he wants to sign, but he wants the best offer possible. And the teams after him are continually revising what they're offering him as well based on his form. So I think Nazai Wanganeen Malera is going to have a massive back end to the season. So I think he's probably my top option out of the ones I can see on the screen at the moment. If you can afford Brody Grundy, go to Brody Grundy. But I think Nazai is probably the best one out of that mix there that I can see.
Yeah, I agree. And I'd probably throw Nick Dacos in there as well. You'll get that sugar hit this week against Gold Coast. I expect that to be a lot of people's vice captains on Friday night there. As we head more towards some interesting player ranges here, I won't bother with Tim English on screen. Love you, Tim English, but I think this is where the interesting part we discuss. So we're probably looking more at that 60 plus K money in the bank range here. There are some interesting guys to talk about here. The main one that I'm eyeing up there around this range is Errol Goulden.
Yeah,
I think 5'8".
I'm big Errol Goulden. If you can afford Errol Goulden, you shouldn't even be asking another question.
Yeah, I think Errol Goulden's such an interesting target and just so lowly owned as well. So he could really help you out this season. So I think he would be a good Caldwell replacement. Not many people are going to be able to attain him. I also quite like, if you haven't got Bont, I think that's always a very nice option. So we headed more into this range. Like I think Connor Rozee is a fantastic target if you don't have.
I will say this though, if you could hold him a week, and Corey from our comments sort of alluded to this. Ed Richards, if he scores as projected, will come down about 30K to closer to Caldwell's price. Caleb Sarong's also going to drop in price. If you wanted one of those guys, you could wait a week and just stick Zach Johnson or someone in your flex or wherever Caldwell is for now. Even Jordan Clark might come down in price if you think he might be better as well. So it depends what you can do this week. If you have to do the trade this week, there's plenty of options. If you can wait a week, there's going to be plenty of options next week as well.
Yep, correct. And if you want to go super out there too, Camilla at 568K is pretty interesting.
Oh, actually, scroll back up. Scroll back up. Go on. Scroll. Jordan Dawson, I think, is an underrated option.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
He's only gone below 96 3 times this season, and Adelaide want that double chance. And if they can get to a point where they are hosting their double chances, I don't think they will leave Adelaide until the grand final.
Oh, okay. I quite like
I can
that.
see I can see an Adelaide Collingwood grand final.
That'd be a very good grand final, I reckon.
Yes. Yep.
I'd be very happy with that. More of this sort of range here. I mean, Lockie Ash is an interesting option as well. He's really been that breakout defender. If you're looking to get another defender there, Jordan Clark, maybe not for the time being, just due to him dropping in price. Andy Brayshaw is really starting to drop off for people might look at him a bit later. I think I wanted to get to this range because this range is really where Jai Caldwell is roughly priced at. And the main discussion point this round has been Tom Liberatore versus Zach Merritt for Caldwell's replacement. I'm not sure if you've noticed the same.
I have thoughts on this.
What's your thoughts?
Tom Liberatore scores 171. Zach Merritt scores 159. Yeah, I want those scores in my team. Let's trade these guys in. Those scores have gone, people. Those scores have gone. Tom Liberatore, the last 2 weeks before his 171, he hasn't been doing good. He hasn't had great scores. That 171 is gone. You're not trading in that 171. You're trading in Tom Liberatore, and he hasn't had a great month up before that 171. So I like it, but I just wonder what people think they're going to get from him. They're not going to get 171 every week. They're probably going to get 103 every week, which is closest, which is what his 5-round average is. So yeah, that's interesting to me. And then Zach Merritt again. Zach Merritt has only just moved back into the midfield. Does he stay there? Probably because Caldwell and Parrish are injured, but I just think people see 159 and 171 and go, I want these players because they scored highly last round, and they don't really look at anything else apart from those two things. It happens all throughout the season, and I just think they're probably getting them before their price goes back up as well. Like they're probably bottomed out now given those high scores. But I just wonder what people's motivations are with getting Merritt and Liberatore over some of the other options that we've discussed.
Yeah, spot on. And I mean, yeah, I think it'd be a much different talking point for Caldwell's replacement if those two didn't go as high as they did. I think Zach Merritt still would have been in that conversation, but Libba, this has popped out of nowhere. So I think both are fine. Like they both should do better than what they're currently priced at. I think Merritt's got a pretty rough tag run for the run home.
It's not as bad as you think, actually. I
Is
sort
it?
of thought this as well, but I don't think it's as bad as we think.
Okay. And then Libba's got to contend with Bont, Richards, Fraser for scoring, Kennedy for scoring. So there's plenty of cooks in the kitchen. Can Libba stand up to that and deliver a 110 average for the run home? I'm unsure. So, but I think for roughly where they're priced at, they should do better than what they are priced at right here. So,
Yeah.
if you had to choose one, who would you go for?
Out of the two,
Yep, I'd go.
Merritt.
Yeah, I've been tossing and turning each day with who I think's a better option there. I think I'm going with Merritt. As we start heading into the range of players under Jai Caldwell's price tag.
We didn't talk about one
Oh,
player.
sorry. Jack
Nick
Crisp.
Martin.
Oh.
Martin.
Oh, yeah, Nick Martin. Yes.
68 last round will scare people, but he's had a very solid season. He's had a very solid season. The Phantom reckons Nick Martin's going to be the top scorer this week.
Yeah. I mean, he went absolutely amazing against Richmond. I think he went 163 at Dreamtime at the G. So, I think he's a fantastic flexibility option for people out there. that need some flexible options in their team to cover any disaster situations as the season goes on. So the break even's a bit disgusting, I believe, but he should get close to.
He could cover it. He
150.
honestly, he could
could.
cover it.
Yeah, absolutely. As my SuperCoach page is going a bit slowly, so we'll just keep scrolling down. But yeah, Nick Martin's a very nice option for those looking for a defensive forward or just a general forward. As we head into some cheaper options, I think Jack Macrae is probably the best replacement for Jai Caldwell, in my opinion.
Yep, I would agree with that as well. I would have said maybe Will Ashcroft, but you can't really trust him at the moment. That midfield mix at Brisbane changes almost every week.
Yeah. Gee, that isn't going away. Let me just refresh for a second. Oh, it's gone dark mode. I don't like dark mode personally. I like the OG look. I scrolled too low. So in my opinion, I think Jack Macrae is probably the best option. A lot of people would have traded him out after his punctured lung, where he missed a couple of weeks, but he looks perfectly fine, back up and running. Saints run home is actually insane as well. So Sydney this week, which is probably pretty good these days. Geelong could be tough. Melbourne, North, Richmond, Essendon, Giants. 5 teams that leak a fair few points in the midfield. I think that is such a juicy run home.
Yep, I agree.
So I think in that block of 5 weeks, for the last 5 weeks, I think he can do 110. But there will be some fluctuations because that's how he's been this year. I quite like Will Ashcroft. Bailey Dale probably just wouldn't bother at this point. Zorko, would you go there at this point?
No.
I don't think so, no. As we'll head into the more low 500s range, there are a few guys here. Like Lockie Whitfield will be back this week against the Cats. I think that is a good matchup for him. Lloyd Meek, we discussed earlier, I think at 506K is quite a steal for that price. Tom Stewart's sort of low colours a bit.
I like Josh Dacos, but he doesn't have the ceiling. He has a great role and will score you 95 most weeks, but just does not have the ceiling. He has a great floor, but we just don't have that ceiling yet.
You probably want those pods that can sort of have those spike scores in there.
Speaking of spike scores, Matthew Kennedy.
Oh yes. 502K. He's very. If you've got, I still prefer Macrae, but if you need another forward or forward cover, so you can chuck Matt Kennedy at M8 or whatever the case may be, I quite like him as well.
Yeah, Matthew Kennedy for sure.
And I almost think he could do close enough to what Liberatore does for the rest of the year.
Yeah, probably, yes. Yep.
I think Liverpool will have those more spike scores, but
the Dogs run at Marvel Stadium to end the season makes all Dogs players a good option.
Absolutely.
I mean, Luke Beveridge knows that Supercoach players hate him, as noted by his press conference. So maybe he makes us hate him even more by putting players in different positions just to fuck with us. But I think Matthew Kennedy is a good option.
Yeah, I loved what Bevo said. And if you're looking to save 40, 50 plus K money in the bank, I mean, here's my very underrated option, Jack Steele. Do you like that?
I don't like St Kilda players. Don't ask me about St Kilda players, unless their name is Nazaya Wanganeen Malera.
I expected that answer, but I mean, it's similar talking point to what we said about Macrae. That run home for the last 5 weeks is insane. The obvious problem is what's going on with Jack Steele. There's always a bit of a niggle, that sort of thing. So, but I think at 492K, I think he's a very underrated replacement for Caldwell, who I expect to have a strong final 7 weeks of the year. I think I'll slowly just keep scrolling now because there won't be as many guys. Sam Darcy, I mean, it hasn't looked pretty over the past couple of weeks, but I think a big spike is coming pretty soon with Darcy. Don't you reckon, Damo?
I don't know if it's this week, but yeah, the one's coming.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I don't think it's this week, but down the line. LDU is going to get very cheap.
Almost too cheap for it to be considered.
Oh, gee, Braden Fiorini, if you're feeling that.
Miles Bergman is one. Miles Bergman is an interesting one.
His CBAs did drop last week, though,
Still scored 112.
which is the main positive. He signed a 2-year extension, didn't he?
Correct, yeah.
That's a good result. I thought he was leaving. I mean, Colby McKercher at 468k, I still reckon is value for what he can do.
For
I
sure.
think he could go well against the D's this week. Got little helmet in there as well. Are there any real steals here for under 80k below?
Ben Keys.
Keys, yeah.
If you're feeling spicy.
If you're feeling spicy or just gone, fuck it, why not?
Josh Kelly is an interesting one, actually. I don't mind the Josh Kelly one.
I think he's pure wing, though.
I don't mind it, though. I don't mind it at all.
Yeah. Jez with that final, Geelong have a nice run. Good.
Yeah.
Big stride for the Coleman.
I can't have Jeremy Cameron in my SuperCoach team ever again after the last 2 seasons.
Scarred?
Yeah, oh yeah, scarred. Jeremy Cameron, Charlie Curnow, I can't have either of them.
What about Horn Francis now with the CBA's
No.
back up to 58%?
Nah.
No, can't do it.
That shoulder is clearly still bothering him. It wouldn't surprise. It honestly wouldn't surprise me if we get a month out to the end of the season or a couple of weeks out to the end of the season, and they go, you know what, just we'll put you in cotton wool. Go and have shoulder surgery. Go and get yourself cherry right for day 1 of preseason.
Yep, and just enjoy Josh Carr. Sad about Zach Reid.
Yeah.
I'm getting really scary Caleb Marchbank vibes with Reid.
Yes. Yep.
Very talented player. Ridley, good to see him back though. Humpty Dumpty looked really good against Essendon there. And then after this, I mean, Callum Mills.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's really not much. Is there any name that's Kieran Briggs at 425, maybe?
No.
I don't think so. I don't think we're going
to. I think there's nothing else. I don't think there's anything else. You can stop scrolling.
No, hang on. I need to get to 400k. Oh, Marby or Charles, surely. No. And yeah, this is why we talk about Shea Bolton just being so difficult to trade because who the fuck are you picking from here? Yeah, I think they'll do it. Name your top 3 favourite replacements for Jai Caldwell?
Nick Martin, Matt Kennedy, Wait a Week, and Ed Richards.
Oh, yep. I would say Jack Macrae. I'd go Jack Macrae. Fuck it, I'll put Jack Steele in there. And Earl Goulden. All right. Okay, so we've got a few more questions to go through. G'day, lads. G'day, Jono. Love your work, mate. Hope you're going well, mate. Have you thought about any 2026 players?
Have I thought about 2026 players, mate? Have I thought about 2026 players? Let me run through some names that I think will be locked into my early season team, early preseason
thumbs
team.
up, thumbs down, whether I agree and disagree.
Nazai Wanganeen-Malera. I don't care where he goes. Nazai Wanganeen-Malera, I will be starting.
Yeah, might be too expensive the way he's going.
Finn Callahan.
Yeah, I'll put 50-50 on. I need to see how he goes.
Hayden Young.
Yes, big yes. He's going to be cheap.
Sean Manor.
Oh, not sure.
I honestly reckon the forward line's going to be difficult next season.
It's going to be harder than this year. We've had
Yeah,
a good
for
run
sure.
in the forward line.
But I mean, we said that last year and the year before and the year before and the year before. And then we had guys like Bailey Smith get traded, Jack McRae get traded, all these sorts of guys. So I'm not
Yeah,
sure who's going to pop up in the forward line, but based on what I can see at the moment,
there's
most
not as much.
most people's F1 and F2 might be Sam Darcy and Max King coming back from his knee surgery.
On Francis and Rankin again.
I'm not sure. Horn Francis is in the same basket as Jeremy Cameron and Charlie Curnow for me now.
You just can't do it.
I can't do it.
What? Oh.
He thinks too much about his disposal before he has the ball, so he fumbles. It's just no, I can't do it.
Even with 80% CBAs.
I can't do it.
All right. I mean, Elliot Yeo. He won't play this year.
No.
He won't play this year. And you'd assume he's back in the midfield straight away.
He's being held together with glue and pipe cleaners.
He'll be like 400K.
He could be 100K and I still wouldn't pick him.
I think I'm going back.
He'll last 3 minutes and then die.
He did last year.
He's almost on the cutting room floor, mate.
We might be going back to the Will Daywell as well next year.
I'm not.
I'm doing it. He's my favourite.
Actually, some rookies that might not play this year that we can have a look at. Josh Smiley is going to be bargain basement. Jagger Smith will be a bargain basement.
Oh yeah.
Those two guys should get some really good time. Should get some really good game time next season as long as their pre-seasons go without a hitch. So I reckon those are two
Jagger
rookies
Smith
that
will
you
be the most owned player heading into.
Oh yeah, good chance. I also like what's his fucking name? Jesse Detoli at the Swans as well.
Yeah, I was going to say there's always some random Sydney rookie that just turns into a goat. Yeah, I like him as well. I was going to say Taj Houghton, but it looks like he's going to play very shortly. Can I throw one out there? Another Eagles player as a real breakout, Harley Reid.
Will he be an Eagles player?
No. Like as a pick, he's averaging 66.
Wait. No. Do you mean like for this year or for next year?
Next year, he could.
Yeah, next year. Will he be an Eagles player?
Oh no, I said I'll throw an Eagles player out there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Will he be an Eagles player? I'm going to say yes for one more year.
Okay. If he's an Eagles player, no. If he goes somewhere else, I'll strongly consider.
Yeah.
If we are going to talk about Eagles players who could potentially be good, Brady Hoff.
I like it. I love it. I love it. He just needs a full preseason learning to play in the midfield, get his own ability.
If he's going to be a full-time midfielder next season, he will be mid defender to start next year, and he'll be about 400K.
Yeah, for sure. And then another thing I'll be hoping for is Sam Flanders to change clubs. I think he could be. He could
depends
come
where he goes.
I think would be a good team for him. Melbourne.
No. No way. No. No.
Where then? Fucking Collingwood, where he plays back pocket.
I'm trying to think.
Geelong.
I'm just trying to, mate. Geelong. No. Oh, let me think.
Maybe
Oh, you know what? If St Kilda lose Nazaiwang and Malera,
they're
if
replacing with
Sam
Flanders.
Flanders goes there, I can see that being a good place for him.
Yeah. And probably one more pick as well would be if Josh Dacos moves back to a wing, Dan Houston again. Because, they've just barely used him.
They
haven't needed
they traded him in to run drinks by the looks of it at the moment.
Yeah, they traded their first for him to be a lockdown, like Perryman. Man, it's working. Oh, Corey's got a good shit. Oh, actually, there are a couple of good shouts here. Nick Newman, I like that. No, okay. Well, I mean,
until I know what's going on at Carlton, the answer is no.
The only problem with Nick Newman's injury, because I did the exact same injury as Nick Newman, your leg's never the same. It's never the same. It's not like an ACL where good rehab and you can just be back like that. That's a very serious injury. So that'd be the only thing. But I like this shout from Corey as well. Sam Banks.
Sam Banks was on my list as well, but I forgot to call him out.
No, you're all good. Yeah, so there's some interesting guys.
You know what? It wouldn't surprise me if Jaden Short is traded at the end of the year. To where, I don't know, but I think he could be traded. But I don't think he would be SuperCoach relevant wherever he goes, wherever he is.
He screams St Kilda.
He screams Collingwood.
Oh, he does a bit, yeah, but they don't really need him.
They didn't really need Dan Houston either.
Yeah, clearly. Josh Dacos is basically Dan Houston for them anyway.
Maybe Jaden Short can go to Geelong because Geelong seem to be going after every player that's out of favour.
Yeah, I've seen so many different players linked to Geelong now. Yeah, I hope that answers your question, Jono. There's a fair few options to talk about there. We'll get into a few more questions, some starting picks, vice captains, and hot seat, and we'll wrap this up. JDLH93. What's the best option? We had you waiting a fair bit. Hope you're doing well. Trade TDK to Horn Francis, bank 60K and 3 trades remaining, or trade TDK and Keeler to get a rookie plus any premium under 600K. So basically could be like, does it have to be a ruck? No, it doesn't have to be a ruck. Could it be like Golden and...
I like the second option better.
I think I do as well.
Because the premiums that you open yourself up to under 600K is Errol Goulden.
Yep, exactly. If it was like 550K and under,
you could go TDK and Keeler to Goulden and Shanahan, and you are sweet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think I'd go option 2 there, mate. Yeah, TDK's got to go. I have no cash, so if I only use one trade, I have to get someone cheaper.
Yeah, use 2 trades. Get Shanahan and Goulden is my suggestion, and you will be sweet.
I agree, Damo. All right, throw me some starting picks, Damo.
All right, I've mentioned one already today. Jordan Dawson.
As a starting pick. Because he started the season pretty slow, but he's really kicked in.
No, he didn't. If you look, his start to the season was good.
Was it? He got under 500K for a reason. Oh, yeah, it's because of that one Geelong game and the Freo game, yeah. I would give this. I think as a starting pick, I'd give it a 4.
Yep,
I think,
I'd probably agree with that.
but as an upgrade target, I'd give him a 5. So it's that sort of thing. If you upgraded him at the right time, yeah, I'd give Dawson a 4. He's been cheap to attain, and as a starting pick, and he's been a lot better than what he was last year.
Next player, Bailey Dale.
As a starting pick,
I know at least 3 people who started him, so he qualified.
that's fair. I'd give him a 3.
Okay.
I think he's fine for what you paid for. Oh wait, what was he priced at? I low key forgot. Oh yeah, 513 was it?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, he was like 513k, 528k. Yeah, I'd give that a 3. He's had his ups and downs. He's probably been better than what we thought as a start at that price.
Joel Frazier. There were some people that started him out of that one preseason game.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I don't think it's been a game changer. I'd say 3 because he's been fine, and you got those 2 scores as well before everyone traded him in, and he went through a bit of a rough patch. So I'd give him a 3.
James Peatling.
Oh, so you're giving me some good ones today. He's missed a couple of games due to suspension, and well, I do remember he was being very much talked about, and I really liked him. I would honestly give this. I think I'm giving this a 3 as well.
I'm 2. I'm 2.
You're 2?
Missed way too many games to be anything higher than a 2.
He's only missed 2.
He's only missed 2 games.
Yeah.
Wasn't he suspended for 3?
No. He missed round 6 and he's missed round 14. And if you got rid of him at the right time, he would have made you about 140k. So I think it's
maybe,
a 3.
Maybe 3 then.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they were both from dangerous tackles as well.
Yeah, probably. Which means if he gets suspended again for the same reason, it will be much, much, much longer.
Yeah, so he needs to be a good boy.
And then the last one, Connor Rosie.
4.
If you started him?
Yeah, I'd still give it a 4.
Okay.
And if you've held on to him, yeah, like the DPP saved him. If he was just a midfielder, it would be a 3. He probably wouldn't be averaging like this. So it's probably a 2 if he stayed as a mid and stayed in that mid role. But the fact he's got DPP, moved into the half back line, I think his starting pick is a 4.
Yeah. I thought Peatling missed more games, to be honest. I thought he was suspended for much longer than that the second time around.
Yeah, I thought he was as well, but I think was it a 3-game suspension downgrade to 1 or something? Or
Nah, so as Jono points out in the chat, round 14 was Adelaide's bye, so that's why there's 2 rounds missing in his round. It goes 13 to 16 because he missed 1 week and then the other week was Adelaide's bye.
Well, round 15 was Adelaide's bye, not 14.
Either way.
Yeah. Yeah, it was Adelaide's bye was round 15, but yeah, either way, yeah. Because I remember we played them in round 14.
Yeah.
So sorry, Jono. So good list, and I'll make sure I do my research for next week. Let's talk. Who's on the hot seat for you this week, mate?
Hot seat for me. I traded him in, and he only gave me a measly 67. Dylan Moore.
Yeah, fair. Do you really want to fire him up, though, against your mob?
In the role that he plays, we usually give up a lot of points to players in that role.
Yeah.
Look at Max Hall the week before.
Yeah. Joe, he was unreal. He was unreal against us. Yeah, that's a good shout. Fire up, Dill. We need you fired up on Saturday night, mate. First time our two teams are going at it for the season, so it is an 8-pointer. It's a big game.
Hawks will win.
You reckon?
I don't know.
Yeah,
the vibes aren't high.
Yeah, I'm bloody nervous. 8:10 start here. I'll have a coffee at 5.
Nah, have a coffee when the game starts and you'll be pinging all night, mate.
I might make an espresso martini, Damo. I put Jack Sinclair on the hot seat last week. That clearly didn't work. So maybe you've got to give him good behaviour, and you've got to just have good faith in him rather than burn him. So he won't be on the hot seat this week. I think there's a different approach to help him out there. Nick Martin, 68 last week. I love Nick Martin, but gonna need he hasn't turned up in his last 3 games. So as a pod, for me to have any chance finishing inside the top 1K, I need a big result out of Nick Martin this week. So let's fingers crossed. It's a great matchup.
Yep.
All right, and we'll just talk about some vice captains and our trades, and a couple more questions, and we'll wrap this up. So, who is your vice captain this week, Damo, to start with?
Now, I've already seen your team because you shared the list.
Yeah.
The player list. We are exactly the same. Dacos into Butters.
Yeah. I think I identified that on Monday. I'm just like, wait, Dacos against Gold Coast and then Butters against West Coast. Surely there's no one.
I also don't mind Cherry up against Gorn again. I don't mind Bont up against the Crows. I like Holmes against the Giants as long as he doesn't get tagged. It'll either be him or Smith that gets tagged. Whichever one isn't tagged will go off the chain. I don't mind Merritt against the Tigers. Rosie against West Coast is also another good option as well.
Yeah, I like Rosie. If you don't have Butters, I think Brody Grundy could go mad against Marshall on Sunday if you've got him. I don't think I've ever seen a Grundy owner though, so I think his ownership is a lie. I'm yet to see a Grundy owner. And same with this bloke, Hugh McCluggage. He should go pretty well tonight against the Blues.
I don't know a Hugh McCluggage owner. I know people that always talk about how good owning him would be, but I haven't heard about anyone actually owning him.
It's AI and Chat GPT that own those two. I don't know anyone that owns them. I like Lockie Whitfield as well. If he plays, I don't mind him as
it looks like he will play because they're talking up his 250th. They've been doing all the social media gubbins and all that. I think he didn't play the West Coast game because it was A, travel, and B, so close to call out of concussion protocols. He would have had to fly. He would have had to fly while still in concussion protocols, which is probably against the protocols. If the game was in Sydney, I reckon he might have played.
Yeah, agree. It was just too big of a journey for him. I think that's most. If you got Zach Merritt, he's a good little. Well, he should be playing midfield, so I'd assume he's very safe. Fullback guy as well.
And after Nazaya last week, Jordan Clark is a chance to potentially have a nice VC on Saturday night.
Yeah, I mean, Hawthorn didn't pay any attention to Nas, even though Mitchell claimed they did. Didn't see anyone go near him. So Jordan Clark should be able to bounce back this week as well. He'll be hungry to get the ball in his hands after last week. And I mean, talking about Nas, I mean, Nas is probably in that category of being a safe fullback captain whatever week he's playing.
Yeah. Yep. Against Sydney, though, might get Braden Campbell.
Oh, I forgot about that. I forgot Campbell's the forgotten tagger at the minute. Yeah, he's been having a good crack at some guys as well. Yeah, I think that's the main targets. I think my favourites are Grundy, McCluggage, Dacos, Butters, and Rosie, and Merritt. I think they're my main guys.
Yep.
All right, and we will. What are your final trades this week?
Caldwell to Martin.
Yeah, I'm doing Matt Carroll and Jai Caldwell to Ewan McKinlay, the Port Adelaide rookie, the second pick from the mid-season draft, mid-forward 99k, and Tristan Cherry with 124k to spare. So
excellent.
Beautiful. So that will leave me with 3 trades. All right. Just any final questions from you guys? Connor Rosie, was this regarding 2026 picks?
As a starting pick, yep.
Yeah, Rosie
could be DPP to start next year again, so I don't mind that at all.
Well, the only problem would be new coach. Was this Ken Hinckley's plan or Josh Carr's plan to put Rosie in the back line?
I mean, Rosie's been staying there even with Carr seemingly driving the last couple of weeks. So I think there's a chance.
Yep. Nass definitely worth starting. His floor is unreal. Such a fun own. Yeah, he would be. He's such a painful non-own. Hopefully he doesn't go too bonkers for the run home. Dacos in a Rosie. I think Rosie is a good, if you don't want to go Butters, I think Rosie should do just as good, if not better than Butters.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
Yep. Jono, Nass will look at Campbell and run him off his feet. Yeah, because that's the thing. Campbell's not fast. They will shake hands to start the game, and that's all.
Campbell's not fast, but Campbell's fit.
Yep.
So it won't be a run him off his feet kind of thing. James Jordan, who does James Jordan target? Probably double team. I don't know. Steele?
Do you reckon Jordan and Campbell could go on Sinclair and Nass?
Oh, probably.
Because McRae's good, but he's probably not a guy you don't really need to bother tagging. He doesn't kill you.
I can see Campbell and Jordan going on to Sinclair and Nass, yeah. And they might swap depending on how each of them are going.
Because Jordan is a bit quicker. Yeah. So that'll be interesting how that pans out. But yeah, Nass is in just such amazing form. I think he would still be fine. I think we'll wrap it up there, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Really appreciate all the love and support for these live streams. Damo, it's always a pleasure.
Always good to be here on a Throwdown Thursday. I might not turn up next week if the Dockers lose.
Oh, I'm not that type to rub it in, so I think you'll be safe.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys next week for the live stream. Thank you all for tuning in. And as I said, see you next week.